Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. In the previous episode, after having finished the fourth dungeon, just a couple episodes previously, we started taking care of the large amount of side quests and various secrets that we can take care of now that we've finished the fourth part of the game. The bulk of the previous episode was done finishing off almost the entirety of the long item chain in this game. And so in this episode, we're going to be finishing up just about the rest of everything that we can do before we head off to level 5. And so to start off, we're going to be taking a detour toward a place we haven't touched in a little while. Yep, we're headed towards Spool Swamp. Because you see, as we pick up a fresh batch of Pegasus seeds to immediately burn on getting to this next location a few seconds faster, there's something that we can do now that we are able to summon Spring. You see, you know how the game has said, how the locals have said that in the spring, the snow melts off of Mount Kuko and the mountains up there and travels down the river to eventually reach the swamp? Well, they weren't kidding. Because you see, as we head south here, we'll find that there is notably more water here than there is in other seasons. And so now we'll have to dive beneath these enemies, although that actually makes it easier to avoid the fireballs these Goponga flowers shoot. Not to mention get around these enemies in general. And now we have a water current here of all places. But you see, this also happens to be the key to reaching this heart piece here, because now the thick vines and stuff that were blocking it before have been covered over by the water. And now we have finished another full heart container. So yeah, just a little more life energy and a kind of a unique tile here. Kind of interesting, isn't it? So, we actually aren't entirely done in this area because, careful, because there's actually some more we can do with, although, might have bit myself in the behind here a little. You see, we want to head upriver here, but this current isn't exactly going to let us do that now, is it? So it seems we're going to have to warp back to the, let's see, what would be best to do here? Actually, let's start by warping to the Sentry in North Marone and take the river from the other direction. You see, now that we have Zora's Flippers, of course, let's put a different item on. Rock's Feather, better utility. There's a lot of stuff that we can do in this river area now that we can swim in it. And so we're going to begin that. Get out of here, you damn pea-hats. If you bring up the map here, you'll notice we haven't touched this screen just southwest of here. Well, you see, there is something interesting here. Namely, you heard the discovery ring go off, didn't you? Namely, there we go, a Gosha soil spot. This is an uncommon spot, as you know. That'll give us moderate level prizes from the tree, including rings from tiers 1 to 3. So it's not bad, and since it's not that hard to get here once you have the flippers, it's worth checking out. Now we want to head due south. Careful, mind the river, Zora. There's that one again. Let's see, and no, okay, here we go. Alright, now, then our next destination is immediately south of here. This tree with a door in it, opening in it, etc., just kind of nestled here amongst the side of the river in an area you might not otherwise think to look. Note the perspective-defying stairs there. So through the door is an old man. Soil, time, sun, rain, warmth. I await one who knows many essences. Well, he named off 5 of them, so it seems we're one essence short of whatever he's looking for. By the way, have you ever taken a real close look at the sprite for the old man NPCs? You know, the way like their nose peeks through their hood. Sometimes it makes it look like it's a Cyclops. It's just, you know, 8-bit limitations making sprites look kind of funny. Go figure. Anyway, we're going to be heading just a little to the west for our next stop. And so once again, if careful. And so once again, unless you took a look at the screen down here, you might not have known this cave was here at all. And so in here is just a chest sitting here with a ring in it. I wonder what's in this one. Let's stop by Vasu's to check it out, using the small opening this cave entrance gives us to Gale Seed away. And so, let's take a look at what this ring is, shall we? This is another case of a ring that is guaranteed to be in a specific location, so every time you get the ring out of that chest, it will always be the Octo Ring. It's another transformation ring that makes you look like a green Octorok. Same stuff applies to the other transformation rings. You can't attack while wearing it, but you are immune to likes. And so that is... Yes, that is everything we need to do before we head off to our next main destination. So if you remember, the Maku Tree said he sensed an essence that is dreamt of an essence located in a lake shaped like eyeglasses. Well, we just so happened to have stumbled upon an Eyeglass Lake in a little bit of exploration earlier on. So now we know what our next destination is, and it turns out it's not very far off. Just sitting in the middle of the overworld in a location that we've been able to explore a little before, but you might not think to have checked there otherwise. But before we head over there, you see, there is one more thing we can check out, and it involves making the season summer. So, as we pick up Rock's Feather, if you remember, one of the things that happens in summer is that lakes can dry out. And as it turns out, Eyeglass Lake is one of them. So we have a bombable wall here. Let's blow that open. And through here, we have another chest sitting somehow on the surface of the water. Well, I guess magic is the thing in this setting. Anyway, here we have 100 rupees. You see, something a little interesting. You see, in a linked game, this is where you find the square jewel. That cave over in Spool Swamp will have 100 rupees instead. Yeah, just one little, tiny little change that makes things just a little different in a linked game. Go figure. However, we need it to not be summer to get to where we need to go next. You see that Subrosia portal up there? Well, we kind of, can't reach it in the lake's current state. So we're gonna have to change the season back to something, other than summer. The good news is the tree stump's right here, so that's not that hard at all. And with another quick swap to the Rock's Feather, one little minor annoying thing for this game is how you can only have two items or pieces of equipment equipped at once, but considering the limited amount of buttons the Game Boy Color had, it couldn't really be helped. They did a lot with what they had. That's pretty commendable. But it's nice that in other Zelda games you have more buttons to work with to put items on. Here we have rock mushrooms, aka Petrofungus. Pick and fall only. Well, that happens to be the one season we don't have. And considering we've been picking up one new season every chapter of the game so far, well, let's say the Subrosia portal feels very welcoming right now. And so we find ourselves in, surprise, surprise, a new section of Subrosia. This is technically a Subrosia village, although it doesn't look very village-like. We find ourselves on the cliff just to the south of the Temple of Seasons. Over to the west here is a very cool-looking building. Everyone went to gather rocks at the temple up north. There are nice-sized rocks near the temple up... I wonder if you and your buddy rehearsed these lines beforehand. So if you haven't figured it out by now, this place is a massive forge in the area. Melt it down! These furnaces can melt any metal! Right now I'm melting and mixing two kinds of ore. And a little perspective hiccup over here. You see the one tile high walls encircling this area. Then you have a spout sitting halfway up the wall, pouring lava down a tile to a tile and a half here. Yeah, whoops. So anyway, I'm sure that forge will become important somehow later on. Through here we have... Who the hell is this? Simply divine, impeccably fine, gorgeous design, notably kind, signs! Have you broken any signs? Of course not, who could? They're so lovely! You and I see eye to eye! That is the, sign-loving Subrosian. Yeah, he's a bit of a character. You see, though I haven't shown it much yet, you can actually destroy signs in this game through various reasons. Although the only one we have at the moment is, hold on a second. As you can see, the furnaces are actually one screen north of here, but you gotta go east to get to them. You can pick up signs. And so, if you've destroyed a certain amount of them, the sign-loving Subrosian will start to say different things, among other things. We'll have to show that as we go on throughout this adventure. Over here we have a long gap that we can't cross and another one of those metal poles with an S on it. I'm sure at some point we have to find the means to cross these gaps, don't we? But more importantly, we have a rock here. We can lift that up and create a shortcut to the other side here. Just the perfect timing of Rock's feather. Screw it. Let's use Pegasus seeds to make it guaranteed instead of requiring timing. You see, kind of like those rocks a little southwest of here, that rock will stay gone, therefore giving us a shortcut to the eastern part of Subrosia as we need it. That is very, very helpful in the long run. There are some times where a 10. There are some times where we'll need to kind of cross between these parts of Subrosia, and it makes things much easier. But now, on to the main event of this part of Subrosia, the lava lake. We gotta cross it. A lot of volcanoes and lava here. You're gonna be using Rock's feather a lot, so hope you gotten good at jumping. Use your Mario experience if you have any. Jump, jump. That is another fire pokey. You remember those? This is their natural habitat when you're not digging them up out of holes in the ground. Make that easier. You can just jump over here. Jump, jump, jump. What's this in the ground here? Might as well pick it up. You got a bomb flower. Handle it with care. And so, what do we do with this? Well, if you remember, we couldn't get into the Temple of Fall before because there were those rocks blocking the way, and there was even that NPC Smithy who was talking about how well, he wasn't a smithy actually. He was a metal worker. He was from the forge, talking about how he wanted to blow up those rocks there to get a hold of all the different various metals contained within the rocks so we could use them to smelt stuff. Well, we just got the means to help him with that, didn't we? So as we head over here, had to burn a second Pegasus seed, but hey, we got 50 of them. As we head over here, cross the gap. Got a sword equipped, just because you know you always want it equipped. I mean, you feel naked without a sword in these games, you know? Oh, that's a bomb flower! Thanks! Okay, let's break it! Stay clear. And I tried to say way and path at the same time there. That was great! Now we have plenty, thanks to you. If you ever need any ore melted, come to the furnaces. But more importantly for now, just nothing in our... I had to screw that up, didn't I? Third time's the charm. There we go. Nothing but some ornate pathways to cross to the upper reaches of the tower. I'd imagine that lava wasn't there when the Temple of Seasons was above ground. But here we are at the Shrine of Autumn. Couldn't quite get centered there. Oh well. I am the spirit of autumn. My turn has come. They say fall is lonely, but no. Pits are filled with fallen leaves and mushrooms are ripe for picking. When shadows fall on Hyrule, a hero shall appear. Is that hero you? Then I grant you autumn's power. The Rod of Seasons has been blessed with an autumn breeze. Climb atop a stump to call forth autumn. Now the Rod of Seasons has the powers of all 4 seasons. This is all the help we can offer you. Oh, courageous youth, Din and all Holodrum are counting on you. And with that, the Rod of Seasons is at its full strength, and now we can truly bend the seasons to our will. You can bet a whole lot of puzzles are going to open up now that we can summon all 4 of them. Well, not entirely at will because we got to go to a tree stump. But hey, it feels nice now that we have the Rod of Seasons at full power. It's really cool, I gotta admit. So, interesting little bit of information. You see, you're probably thinking at this point, hey, wait a minute. We don't want to take that portal. Hey, wait a minute. Why haven't you used the slingshot yet? We haven't run into a single part here that requires the slingshot. Then couldn't you have done all of this before you entered the 4th dungeon? And the truth is, actually, yes. You see, once you hit the flippers, you could have done all of this already. So technically, if you so inclined or you got lost, or you just felt like exploring, you could actually sequence break and do all of this, including beating the 5th dungeon, before you enter the 4th. Although, as we know what that old man with the essence is, we're probably, although, spoilers, we are going to need to beat levels 4 and 5 before we do anything in regards to level 6. So there's that. Let's check out this Gacha tree. Actually, first, let's save ourselves a few seconds by checking out this screen to the right first, showing that if you remember this, very obviously a dungeon entrance, blocked off by these mushrooms. Wow, I actually didn't know this message showed up. It's heavy like a rock. Okay, yeah, I all the times I played this game and I didn't know it gave that message. That's kind of cool. So, now we're going to use our newly obtained power to summon Fall. For one, we're going to make it a little easier to obtain that Gacha nut. Let's see what's inside. It's been a little while since we've touched this area. What's inside? A ring. That's not bad. Fun fact, you can actually use the Rod of Seasons to... Okay, it doesn't affect them at all. I thought it might push them away. Anyway. So, one of the key things about Fall. These mushrooms aren't rock hard anymore, and we can pick them up. Weird thing about them, that you can't pick up another one until one's disappeared. It's kind of weird. But anyway, just like that, we have ourselves a dungeon entrance. And with a little bit of time on our hands, let's take a look around, shall we? Welcome to the Unicorn's Cave. And don't let the gaudy color palette side fool you. This is a really cool dungeon. It's very interesting. You see, whereas the Dancing Dragon dungeon was pretty linear overall, this one very much isn't. You can get lost in here and just have no idea of what to do or where to go next if you're not careful, so we're going to take this rather methodically. We're going to start from the southwest and kind of swoop around at first. And right off the bat, here's a gap we can't cross. Go figure, there's another one of those S-poles. Huh. There's a chest that we're going to have to reach eventually, heading upward to here. Here we have Helmosaurs. You can't, if it wasn't pretty obvious, you can't hurt them from the front. And they like to, if at all possible, face you, turn to face you. So the trick for now is to hit them while they're facing away from you. You can use your horizontal sword slash to make that a little easier than you'd expect. Head to the door here. We have a conveyor. We have these moving sand pushing you toward a pit. You'd think the quicksand ring would help here, right? This is what it's built for, right? Well, okay, it actually is working. You know, that's kind of funny, because in my practice run, I swear it didn't. But there you go, if you have a quicksand ring at this point, that makes this puzzle a total joke. Unless you're a little off with your movements. Anyway, I completely botched that jump. Anyway, let's head further north, shall we? And we have a giant metal ball with an N on it that makes Link move funny when he tries to walk on it. Not getting through there yet. Quick bring up of the map shows that this dungeon is one floor. Yeah, a bit of a contrast from the multi-floor dungeons that we've had the last couple times. But don't breathe easy yet. This floor is big and easy to get lost in. You see all those chests. So we're going to be heading south into the east for now, because we can't do anything to this north side. Cross the water. Like I said, you couldn't have gotten here to begin with unless you had the flippers, so they do make full use of that fact. And by the way, just a real quick shout out to the music, because this is really cool music. It really gets stuck in your head. It's just really interesting. It's just really cool. You know, it's just like dun 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 to the east now. Left cart first. Let's head through. The music just sticks to your head. It's really good. It's really nice. It's kind of up there as far as 8-bit music goes. It's like on par with some of the classic Mega Man music. It's that good. So anyway, we have a spinning something or other with another S on it. There's all these different things we can't do yet. Although the fact that they're showing up so often in this dungeon implies that we're about to get something that can interact with them soon, wouldn't you think? So now, we want to handle this by going through here. Find ourselves with a staircase to jump up to. Careful. And through here. This is rather interesting. This is a, we haven't seen a dark nut in a while, have we? Fun fact, they can't swim. So if we push this block, that'll drop another one of those metal end balls in an area we can't quite do anything with it yet. But you can bet that'll come in handy later on, and it would be an awful shame if you got that far and hadn't done this first, huh? So now, we want to head through here. And with just a little time left, we want to explore that right minecart set real fast. And, I missed the switch. Before we take that staircase, we want to double back. Because we want to, you saw a chest in the room immediately north before, and once we hit the switch to open the path dead north, we can actually, get to it. So we open this chest, containing a small key. And so that, I think that's about a good stopping point for now. The dungeon gets even crazier after this point, trust me. So, next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons, we're going to be conquering the rest of the Unicorn's Cave. And as we dismount from this minecart, see you guys then. Yeah, how about that music, huh?